Good morning, happy Tuesday. This is Anthony Special with Hawkeye Traders. I hope everyone is having a great morning so far. Before we jump into today, of course, we just need to disclaim that anything we share with you is for educational and informational purposes only. Do not take anything as financial advice because it is certainly not. So I want to touch base and continue on Hawkeye indicators this week. And the reason I want to do that is I want to show you the power of the tools that we use, to navigate the markets. These are two very powerful indicators that Hawkeye offers, and they're called the Hawkeye Pivots and the Hawkeye Wide Bar. And we're going to explain to you just what they do. So the pivots are typically turning points, and this is when we see a reveal of a movement in the market. It's a popular indicator for traders. Pivots signal a temporary change in direction of price and is often seen as a pullback or reversal in between 3 to 7 bars. Guys, how powerful would it to be to know that when you see a pivot, plot on your chart, the likeliness is you have a 3 to 7 bar reversal. It's pretty important to know. It'll keep you in your trends. It'll keep you, knowing when you're in congestion. And the advantage that we have, is these generate automatically by the software. They pop up on your chart. I'm going to show you what that looks like in a minute. And you'll be able to see when the market's trending, what the pivots look like, and when the market's in consolidation. The other one is the wide bar, and the wide bar, paints on your chart when there's an extreme price volatility, when the price volatility is more than double of the previous 20 bars. So the idea is to know when to stay out of extreme volatility. Guys, sometimes knowing when not to trade is just as important as knowing when to trade, and Hawkeye has very specific rules when trading with a wide bar. So let's take a look at what that looks like.
With the Hawkeye package, we also give away 2 free indicators. One is called the Hawkeye Pivots, which are these yellow dots here. The other one is the Hawkeye Wide Bar, which is this magenta bar here. The wide bar is showing you twice average true range over 20 bars. So when that happens, you are alerted that something unusual is happening in the market, and quite often you'll see that it goes into consolidation after these wide bars. In fact, it has in this case on the Apple daily chart. You can see that it jumped up twice average true range and then has gone sideways since. Now, the other indicator, which is the Hawkeye Pivot, is very important because it's really showing you what happens in a trend. Basically, it's an isolated high or isolated low. Let me explain an isolated high to you. Look at this one. There's a yellow dot on the top. What it is telling me is that it has a higher high and a higher low than the previous bar and the next bar, and we paint that. Conversely, when it has a lower low and a lower high, then the previous bar and the next bar, we paint a yellow dot. Now, what you expect to see are 3, 5, 7 bar reversals off these dots. So, for example, here you've got 1, 2, 3 down, pushes itself up, 1, 2, 3. Now, that one came in at the bottom, so it's pushing itself up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up. And then when you get to the topping sequence and congestion sequences, you'll see that many of these isolated highs and lows just go flat. So, for example, Apple here is just going flat in congestion and putting in isolated highs, isolated lows. That is quite normal for congestion areas and when the market is just about to stop and reverse.
So guys, you see how powerful that is? You should have a great understanding of looking at what it looks like on an actual live chart, when the market is trending, when the market is in congestion. So guys, I pulled a couple charts out of my own, trade records here to share with you. And I just want to point out here, this is a wide bar. So the top left of the chart there, you see I have a large blue arrow pointing at a magenta bar. And that's a wide bar. And what that means is in the time frame that bar transpired, it is more than twice, meaning more than double, the average true range of the previous 20 bars. So guys, there was some extreme volatility coming in. The market did sit there for a second on the next bar, and then it took off in the direction that this trade transpired in. But I want you to see what it looks like in real life. And I want to take a peek over here. I want to show you what the pivots look like. On the same chart, you see I have these little white arrows pointing at these pivots, pivot highs, pivot lows. They're isolated highs and lows, and you can see how after they plot, there's several, reversals in the direction, in the opposite direction where it plotted. In a pivot high, we see 5 to 7 bars going in the other direction, 3 to 7 bars. And a pivot low, like just the same. So guys, I want you to see what this looks like in real life, and it's really important that you have an understanding of this, and why, because you want to know where the market's going before it happens. And that's the power of using volume. That's the power of using Hawkeye tools. It's the power of these pivots and Y bars. And like Nigel had said in the previous video I just shared with you, these indicators are free in our packages. So guys, why not understand them and take the absolute most advantage of them? It just makes sense to have all the tools in the toolbox to understand exactly what's happening, when it's happening, and why it's happening. Today I want to talk about 12 things that successful people do differently. And by that, I don't want to diminish unsuccessful people. I just want to say from the average person, per se. They create and pursue focused goals. They know what they're after, and they pursue it. And they pursue it with great focus. And they achieve what they're attempting to pursue. They take decisive and immediate action. If they know what they want, if they know what the goal is, there's no reason not to take immediate, actual action that creates a result. They focus on being productive and not just busy. Guys, we can all make ourselves busy. But being productive and being busy are two completely different things. When I get up in the morning and my feet hit the ground, I don't want to be busy. I want to be productive. I want to know that today I got closer to my goal that is set, so far out that it's hard to even think about attaining, but I know every day I got an inch closer. And when you reach that goal, it's a great feeling. And then you set a bigger, better goal. And the next morning you get up, your feet hit the ground, and you do what you have to do to get there. Successful people make logical and informed decisions. They put all the cards on the table. Guys, I've been in business for a long time, and I always tell my clients, listen, let me put the whole, let me paint all the hands here that are dealt, and then you decide which cards, which set of cards you want to play, because there's always options, but you really have to understand, and make logical and informed decisions. You have to know how the pieces of the puzzle are going to come together for you. They avoid the trap of trying to make things perfect. Guys, there's nothing in life that is perfect. If you just stay so focused on trying to achieve what you think is perfect, you'll miss the enjoyment of everything else along the way. Sorry about that. They work outside of their comfort zone. Guys, before I started working with Hawkeye and building big energy profits with Market Traders Daily, this is completely out of my comfort zone. I have never, ever, ever gone in front of a camera before in my entire life, let alone spoke to thousands and thousands of people. It's different, but I was willing to go out of my comfort zone because I knew that I had a message to share with people that was very powerful, something that has changed my life, and I would like to change other people's lives. So I went outside of my comfort zone, and I'm sitting in front of a camera doing something I've never done before. Guys, this is applicable to everything in your life, whether it's trading or your career, your business, your job. You got to be willing to push outside the box. There's the old fish tank story. The fish will only grow as big as the tank you put it in. Don't limit yourself in a small fish tank. You have to be willing to go swim in the ocean, because that's where you will learn and grow the very most. Keep things simple, guys. And that's in all parts of your life, your relationships, your business, your career, your job, your trading. The simpler the plan, the easier it will be to execute consistently and with discipline. So just don't overcomplicate it. I see so many people that make their life harder than it has to be, and it doesn't have to be that way. They just do it to themselves. Listen, they focus on making small and continuous improvements. Guys, that goes back to my 1 inch closer every day to being where I want to be or to achieving a particular goal. We just focus on small improvements. Life is a marathon, not a sprint. If you sprint hard, you'll get burnt out. Once you're burnt out, you're no good to yourself or anybody else. If you can consistently move in the direction that you want to be in for yourself and for the people that are around you and you're supporting you and you're supporting, just those constant improvements are so important. They measure and track their progress. Guys, I keep explicit records in my businesses, explicit records in my trading. And I tell people that all the time. I'm like, write it down. There's no reason that you shouldn't write down your failures, your successes, and your goals. Measure those things and keep track of their progress. It's so important, and I keep that next to me and go, All right, so I took a losing trade, but I took 5 winning trades before that. I shouldn't feel too bad about myself right now. All right? Keeping everything in perspective. Maintaining a positive attitude as you learn from your mistakes. This can be very torturous for some people. People will focus on their failures, they will focus on their mistakes, they will focus on why they shouldn't be doing something instead of rather learning from their mistakes. Guys, I can't tell you how many times throughout my decade of trading career that in the beginning I thought, man, I should throw in the towel. This isn't for me. I can't do this. I'm a failure. I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my money. Guys, that's the wrong attitude. You know, when you make a mistake once, you learn from it. When you make a mistake twice, it was a choice that you made. So if you can, as you make mistakes in the process of growing as a human being, in a relationship, in a business, in your job, in your trading career, as long as you're not making the same mistake twice, meaning you're not making a bad choice the second time, everything in life is a learning curve. And I encourage you to learn from your mistakes because it will make you a better, more developed, well-rounded human being. They spend time with motivational people. What does that mean? Guys, if you guys are spending, I hope that I'm delivering to you every morning in these 5 to 15 minute video clips some type of motivation for your day. I hope that I'm bringing you some type of value, that pushes you to go in the right direction for yourself, for your life, and for your future. Guys, if it's not me, pick up a book. Go to YouTube, watch a video, clip of a motivational speaker. Find the wisest person you know and have a conversation with them. Somebody who has experience, somebody who's made mistakes and learned from them. Surround yourself with somebody who builds you up rather than breaks you down. And they maintain balance in their life. Guys, balance is the key to everything. It's the key to money. It's the key to success. It's the key to happiness. It's the key to love. There has to be balance. If you are too heavily weighted in one area and not the rest, you're failing somewhere else. And that's not where you want to be. You want to find success across the board. You want to find success in your spouse, in your relationship. You want to find success in your job, in your career, in your trading, in the relationships you have with your children, your friends, your family. There needs to be balance. You need to find happiness in yourself. Listen, if you want to go fishing or golfing or whatever you want to do, play tennis, whatever it is you do that you do for you, there has to be a balance too. Anybody who overindulges in one thing is falling short in something else. And if the key to life, if there's one thing that I could share with you out of everything I've shared with you in the past several weeks, is balance. Find that balance, and I promise you will find success in your life. Now, most of you had the opportunity to join me either last Thursday or Saturday for our live Big Energy Profit events. We are now, because we had such an overwhelming presence, such an overwhelming attendance and registration, we're sending out the recordings for anyone who wasn't able to make it. I mean, we had thousands of people come. Thousands of, hundreds of people get involved, like right off the bat. It was very overwhelming, very humbling. This has been a special experience for me over the past several months building out this platform, so that you guys can, while you're learning how to use Hawkeye or your trading method as you're building it, that you can follow my 6-figure a year trading strategy that I, have empowered around Hawkeye. And you can follow me. You can gain access to, all my crude market analysis, trade ideas, and my alert service at bigenergyprofits.com. Guys, I encourage you, if you're in the process of learning, that you might as well be earning along the way. So head on over to bigenergyprofits.com, check out our webinar. If you'd like to work with me, I'd love to have you as part of the Big Energy Profits family. I know for a short period of time I am still offering a $500 off coupon. That is something that is going away, so I just want you to be aware. If you've been on the fence about joining, I would consider doing it sooner rather than later, only because you're going to pay an extra $500 for it. Like I said previously, life is about making decisive action. If you're prepared to make that decisive action, I encourage you to save $500 before it ends up costing you that extra $500 in the coming days that we're going to take that coupon away. only because we're just, it's been so overwhelming with interest. All right. For that today, guys, I'll wrap things up. Of course, if you need us, you can always call us 888-233-8598. Visit us anytime at HawkeyeTraders.com to revisit the indicators that I've been sharing with you through these past several sessions. You can always email us at team1@HawkeyeTraders.com. Just address it to me, and they'll be sure to get it over to me. I'd be happy to respond to you. Guys, if you are using Hawkeye, make sure you are taking full advantage of the Inner Circle Skype room. Make sure you're attending the Wednesday morning live training sessions with Randy and myself. We're trying to share with you all the techniques, all the tools, how they work, and deliver, to you the methodology needed to be a successful trader. We realize that it's very psychological to achieve that, and we're trying to deliver you not only the indicators, but bring you to the right balance where you're able to use those indicators to benefit yourself in such a extreme way. All right, guys, if you're not using Hawkeye and you're ready to move forward, you need to learn more, you want to be part of this, you want to have access to the best tools on the market, you want to be surrounded by like-minded people, click the link below, watch the vSwarm webinar presented by my buddy Dustin. If you have any questions, please reach out to us, call support, email me directly. I'm certainly more than happy to answer and help you in any way possible. There's so much to share, and that's my goal. My goal is to share all the knowledge and all my experience with you guys to make your learning curve less painful than mine was. That's my goal. All right. With that, have a great day. Have a blessed day. Have a profitable day, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow morning. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.